All right, Cindy and I finally got the sailboat put together here, and so I'm going to go on my first shakedown sail and see how it all works out. The sun is already about to set, and so I'm just going to motor over to a little spot where I want to anchor at, and then tomorrow I'll do all my sailing and stuff. So anyways, here we go. We are motoring at the moment, obviously. Had to make some modifications on that so the short shaft motor would fit down in the water. So we're going to go out around the point here and work our way to the west and find me an anchorage and camp out for the night, and then tomorrow I'll start sailing this thing. I'll go over the rigging one last time, make sure everything looks squared away, and then we'll start sailing. But right now, let's get over to an anchorage. Alright, so far everything's working out fine, but tomorrow will be the big test, and we'll see if this thing actually sails without the mast coming down. I already had one little oops. The backstay was only held on by one thread, and I turned the turnbuckle to tighten it up, and I turned it the wrong way and it popped off. And I just luckily was holding on to that back stay, and so the mast didn't come down. I'm glad I found that out, because if I'd been under sail and it was only had one thread on it, that mast would have probably came down in the winds for tomorrow. So that was a close call there. So anyways, had the wife hold the main halyard to keep that mast in position, and then I re-threaded that turnbuckle and got lots of threads on there. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film as the sun sets, so it's going to get dark over here. But I'll see what I can do. I know inside the cabin I installed brand new cabin lights. I've basically rewired this entire boat, and almost all the lights are brand new. I should be able to do some filming inside the cabin tonight anyways. Well, I couldn't stand it. I had to at least raise the main. Just a light breeze out here, so I'm not too worried about that. So I'm just going to go ahead and cruise on over to my anchorage. I just absolutely hate listening to that engine run. I'll have some better lighting here in just a little bit once I get to the anchorage. Well, I wound up getting pulled over by the Lake Patrol. According to them, I have to have that top anchor light on while I'm out sailing at nighttime, even though I have a bow light and a stern light. So, anywho, he was nice enough, but wasn't no problem. All I had to do is flip a switch. The wind has completely died down, so I've got the motor going, and which also requires that light midway up, the steaming light, to be turned on. So I've got that on. So it was a good thing I spent hours and hours rewiring this sailboat. Otherwise, I might have been walking out of here with a ticket in my hand. Alright, so I sailed across the lake and made it around the island, and found me a good little spot that's catching a little bit of breeze, and turned into the wind and anchored out. And I've got my forward hatch open, and so there's a little bit of breeze hitting that hatch and sweeping down here in the cabin. So, and I also have a fan that I can hook up to my LiPo battery. I've got some sandwich makings and some chips and some hummus, and I'm going to have a little snack to eat before I go to bed. Then in the morning, I'm going to pull this sail up and open up the jib and give this thing a good shakedown sail, see how things go. Hopefully there's no big issues. Now in the morning, I've got a camp stove, and I brought some eggs and ham and stuff of that nature, so I'll be fixing up a fairly decent breakfast in the morning. But tonight's going to be pretty simple. Just a hoagie sandwich, basically, with a little bit of hummus and some chips to go along with it. So this is homemade hummus that my wife made. Pretty good stuff. Looks like somebody else has already been getting into it. I'm definitely ready for some water. So the breeze was coming out of the southeast, and it was maybe blowing 6 or 7, maybe at that. So the sailboat was just barely moving. So I did some motor selling coming over here. But anyways, I'm all set up. I'm going to drop this table down into a bed and get set up for the night. So see you guys in the morning. Well, bass boats are starting to zip by, so I guess it's time to wake up. Probably a bass tournament. Sleeping arrangements were fairly decent last night. Didn't have any major trouble sleeping. A few clouds I wasn't expecting. At least not that gray anyways. Wasn't any rain in the forecast. Hopefully it stays that way. Already have a little bit of a breeze this morning. So at least I won't have any trouble sailing off from anchor. But for right now, we'll fire up that stove and cook me a little bit of breakfast. Well, one of the handy dandy things about doing a shakedown sail, I get to find out what kind of gear I'm missing, such as trash bags and paper plates. And that's before I even figure out if I'm missing anything as far as sailing gear. Later today, if somebody's over at the sailing club, some of the old sailors, I'll take the sailboat over there and have them give this boat a once-over, look at it and see if there's anything that needs to be replaced, or at least watched. See if they have any suggestions for other gear that might be a good idea for whenever I'm out sailing. Alright, I have finished breakfast, got everything cleaned up. Now I'm going to raise this sail and sail over to the dock, and wife's going to bring me some more gas from my outboard engine. And then I'm probably going to take this thing over to the sailing club if somebody's over there and have them. Alright, I got the main and the jib up. It's just a matter of getting out here in the main body of the lake so I can tack back and head over to the boat dock. Just a light breeze. It was blowing harder at daybreak, but that's alright. I still got a little breeze. I can maneuver. Alright, I'm at the courtesy pier waiting on my gas delivery. There was some confusion on which boat ramp. Alright. Okay, I got my gas delivery. Some little outboards full of gas. Wife fixed me up with a little bit of reprovisioning real quick with some water and sunblock and apple. So I got plenty to drink on while I'm going to be out here. I'll probably be out here for probably part of the day. When it gets really hot, I'll probably take the sailboat over to our cove and bring it up on the bank, and then chill out in the heat of the day, and then come back down maybe for an evening sail. All right, I just left the boathouse a little bit ago. Had a couple of instructors over there, and they looked the boat over and checked it out and see what all it needed, and just a couple little minor dink things, some slight adjustments here and there. Overall, really good. They were pleased with it considering the age, and I got a heck of a deal on it. But anyways, looked like the boom it needs 3 different cleats replaced on it, and I'm missing a boom vang on this thing. But other than that, it's just little dink stuff. I just sit there took my hand off the tiller, so got a little slack in the sails there. But anyways, I'm fixing to tack. Just saw, I don't know if I can get a good view of him or not. I believe that is a trimaran Corsair over there. Those are neat. I would love to have one of those things. Trailerable trimaran, and they are fast. I had to stop, go down in the cabin and grab something to bring back up here and eat. I'm working my way to the cove that's just down from the house. So I'm going to try to beach this thing, see how that goes. I'll raise the keel up and probably motor in once I get in there, because that cove has some trees and stuff, so I don't want to be slamming into tree trunks with the keel. Tornado sirens, pretty frequent here. They always go off at noon on pretty fair days. That way whenever the crap's hitting the fan and that alarm goes off, you know some bad stuff's headed your way. All right, well, I'm beached. Didn't quite make it to shore. Got close though. Close enough to wade. All right, so now I just gotta grab my gear and head up the hill to the house. Come back down here and do a late evening sail, sunset sail. So during the heat of the day, I decided to just chill out in the house. After a couple of hours, I decided I'd check on the sailboat, just make sure it hadn't drifted off and make sure nobody had messed with it. So I was a little too lazy to walk down there, so I just launched the drone and had the drone go check on it for me. Primarily, I wanted to check on the companionway and make sure it was still closed up, and also check on my brand new outboard engine. At this point, I hadn't purchased a cable to secure the outboard engine to the vessel. Once I confirmed that everything was fine with the sailboat, I decided to do a quick flyby over the cove and just look things over. All right, so I walked back down from the house. The hot part of the day is pretty much over, so I'm going to get back out there and do some sailing and probably some nighttime sailing, and then I'm going to anchor out again, stay the night, and probably go pick up the wife in the morning and do a morning sail before I bring the sailboat back to the boat ramp and put it up. So anyways, let's knock out another evening sail. That wind is blowing hard out there. I had to get over here next to the southern shoreline. I would normally put a reef in here, but it appears like some of my reefing lines are missing. I had the ones in the sail, but there's some additional lines that go down the boom, and they're not there. I got to take it easy. I had to reduce my jib. My jib was getting away from me and flopping in the wind and causing the lines to wrap up, which caused a hellacious mess. But anyways, got it all under control and I furled that jib in. This thing should act a lot better now. That's our local party cove over there. Not much of a cove, but that's where everybody hangs out at. I'm thinking about anchoring in one of these little coves over here. Looks pretty nice. Wind is supposed to stay out of the southeast to shifting to the south for a few hours. So that should be just about perfect out there. Really liking the looks of that little cove over there. But I'm going to do a little night sailing, and then I'll determine where I want to camp at for the night. Alright, I'm set up for attack. There we go. Pretty smooth. Got my nav lights on and my anchor light on, only because Lake Patrol says I have to. Winds are starting to die down a little bit, so I think I'm going to unfurl a little bit more of that jib. Now that the wind has died down, it won't be unruly like it was earlier. Pretty colors in the sky over there. Well, it's kind of looking like the bow fishermen are in the cove that I was wanting to anchor in. I'm hoping they're about done with it. All those bright lights over there is exactly what that is. Whole bunch of LEDs set up for bow fishing. Whew. Alright, I've got me an anchorage. I was over on the south side of the lake and realized real quick that was not going to work. There is zero wind over there. Windbreak, obviously, makes a lot of sense. And so that would have made for some uncomfortable sleeping tonight. So I crossed the lake back over to the north side, where it'll catch some of the wind and it'll funnel through the front hatch. So anyways, I'm going to jump in the lake for a little bit and cool off, and then hopefully should get a pretty comfortable sleep. That water should feel pretty good. So anyways, after I get done with that, then we'll come in here, and all I brought to eat was an apple. Not much. In the morning, I'll probably go over to the boat ramp, pick up my wife, and let her come out here and sail with me for an hour or two, so she can kind of get a taste of it. The last time she was on a sailboat, it was on my NACRA 5.2 Racing Cat, and I don't think she was real big into that. It was just a big trampoline is all it was. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is probably just the start of a few of these sailing videos. Let me know if you like these sailing videos or not. If you don't like them, then then I won't bother filming them. So anyways, later.